Long ago, in the quiet village of Umu Ozara, there lived a woman the entire community could never ignore. Her name was Nwanyi Akpata, the woman whose hips moved like a talking drum whenever she walked. From morning to night, the village knew her footsteps before she even appeared. Why? Because her waist and hips swung with a confidence nobody had ever seen, even when she carried firewood on her head, even when she balanced a clay pot full of water, even when she bent to cook at the outdoor kitchen. Her waist moved with rhythm, slow, steady, hypnotic. People said she didn't walk. She danced through life. Some men would stop pounding yam halfway just to look. Some women would hiss loudly but still peek out from behind their door frames. Children would whisper, "She's coming! She's coming!" and run to the roadside to watch her pass. Akpata's backside was the biggest the village had ever seen, round and full, like a ripe calabash. And the confidence with which she carried it, even the palm trees bowed. But not long ago, she had been the target of cruel laughter. Years ago, Nwanyi Akpata used to cry whenever she looked at other women. Her backside was so flat that village children would tease her mercilessly. If she sits on a stone, the stone will feel pity. She hated it. Every festival season, young girls tied wrappers and danced beautifully, their waists shaking like water in a calabash. When Akpata danced, her waist refused to move stiff like a broomstick. She felt invisible, unwanted, ridiculed, until one evening, she overheard two married women laughing at her in the market. "Look at her," one said. "Even insult has more shape." Humiliation entered her bones. That night, she went to see Ogbanta, a feared native doctor who lived deep inside the forbidden forest, a place where the wind did not blow unless he commanded it. Ogbanta looked at her and smiled slowly. "You came for shape?" he asked. She swallowed, trembling. "Yes, Baba. I want the kind of hips that people cannot ignore." He laughed again, louder this time. "Then you must be ready to carry the weight of what you ask for." He prepared a charm, a thick, dark paste, inside a small pot. It smelled of camwood, roasted kola nut, and something she could not name. "You will rub it on your hips every night for 7 nights, he instructed. "But remember, beauty is never free. What must I do?" she asked. Ogbanta's voice dropped to a whisper. "Every 30 days, you will return here. You will cook for me, serve me, stay with me until I release you." Desperation drowned fear. She agreed, and she kept her promise. On the 3rd night, she woke to a tingling sensation behind her. On the 5th night, her wrapper could no longer tie. By the 7th night, her hips had grown so wide she had to walk sideways to leave her hut. The next morning, when she stepped into the village square, silence, complete silence. Then one woman whispered, "Ewu, she has become a river goddess." From that day, her walk changed the entire village. Husbands stared in wonder. Wives clenched their fists but still admired her secretly. Even the elders adjusted their sitting positions whenever she passed. People said her hips had a spirit of their own, calling attention, drawing eyes, bending hearts, and Akpata loved it. The confidence she once begged for now poured out of her like palm wine. But every 30 days, she returned to Ogbanta. No one knew why. No one knew where she disappeared to. Yet she always came back looking even more radiant, more shaped, more enchanting, Slowly, strange whispers began to spread. Her hips have a guardian spirit. No, it is a charm. She went to the forbidden forest. She sacrificed something. Her shape is not ordinary, yet no matter the gossip, when she walked by, the same mouths fell open in wonder. Even women who hated her still watched her with envy, wishing, praying, dreaming for a body half as blessed. But things started to change. Akpata, the native doctor, began demanding more from her. His tone grew darker. His eyes lingered too long, and he started hinting that one day she would have to pay a final price. A price she did not understand. A price she did not like. A price she was not prepared for. As the 30th day approached again, Akpata began to feel fear crawling slowly up her spine. The 30-day cycle came again, as unrelenting as the sun. Nwanyi Akpata knew she could not avoid it. When she arrived at the clearing deep in the forbidden forest, Akpata was waiting, his eyes glinting with expectation. The air smelled of roasted kola nut and damp earth. "You've come," he said, his voice low, almost a growl. She bowed her head. Every month, it was the same ritual, the charm, the preparation, the endless rubbing of the dark paste on her hips. And then him. Akpata had begun laying with her each visit, claiming it was part of the charm's final activation. But Akpata did not enjoy it. Not 1 second. Every touch was a reminder of how little control she had over her own body and destiny. Yet she endured it. Fear, desperation, and the weight of her beauty left her no choice. Her hips, now the envy of the village, had become her chains. One night, after the ritual, as the fire's embers glowed, Akpata leaned close. "The final price is near," he whispered, his hot breath brushing her ear. "You will marry me, Nwanyi Akpata. All that you have, all that you've gained, belongs to me." Her stomach turned. She could almost hear the jungle animals whispering their disgust. Marry him? A dirty, stinking, old local native doctor? The thought made her shiver with disgust. Her mind raced. There had to be another way. She began to plot in secret. For weeks, she watched Akpata closely. She noted when he left the forest, when he went to fetch herbs, even the times when the charm's power waned slightly. In her hut, she began practicing walking differently, subtly, almost like testing the limits of the charm. She experimented with hiding her power, learning how to make her hips appear ordinary, at least for a few moments. She whispered to herself every night, "I will not marry him. I will not be trapped here. I will leave Umu Ozara. I will go to the city. I will live as a baby girl, free, fashionable, admired for who I choose to be, not what a witch doctor demands." Her heart pounded every time she imagined it. Shiny streets, tall buildings, laughter and music, a life where no one would laugh at her for her past, where she could control her beauty and her body. But to reach that dream, she would need brains, courage, and timing. Akpata was cunning. The forest was his domain. Any wrong move could trap her forever or worse. Yet, the more she endured his monthly rituals, the stronger her resolve grew. Her hips had given her power, but her mind would give her freedom. Back in the village, rumors about her absences began to grow louder. Where does she go? Who is teaching her magic? She carries herself like the forest itself bows to her. Some women whispered with envy, others whispered with fear. And Akpata, he began to sense something. Her eyes, once filled with submission, now held sparks of defiance. And though he smiled, he grew more possessive, more cruel, more demanding. The final price loomed ever closer, and Akpata knew she had only a short window to act. One evening, Nwanyi Akpata prepared Akpata's favorite meal, soft fufu, rich palm nut soup, and roasted chicken. She carried it to the clearing where he waited, his eyes gleaming as he saw her approach. "My wife-to-be," he said, taking the first bite, his voice full of anticipation and greed. Akpata smiled politely, hiding the sleeping charms she had secretly added to the food. She watched as he ate heartily, oblivious to the magic in every morsel. Within minutes, Akpata's eyelids grew heavy. He yawned, slumped forward, and then fell into a deep, enchanted sleep. For the first time in years, Nwanyi Akpata felt a surge of happiness and freedom. Her hips, once a prison of beauty, now carried her swiftly as she reached beneath her hair to pull out the knife she had hidden for months, intending to end Akpata's tyranny forever. Her hand trembled. She raised the knife, but courage abandoned her. She could not do it. Instead, she ran through the forest, past the village outskirts, and into her hut, where she packed a few clothes and fled under the cover of night. Akpata woke the next morning, dazed and furious. "This useless woman made me sleep. Gods, my forefathers! Why did you allow that charm to work on me?" He shouted into the empty clearing, his voice echoing through the forest. "Imagine someone I wanted to help with marriage, and now she will regret ever trying rubbish with me." He began his incantations, dark smoke rising into the sky as he vowed to destroy her and everything she had become. That very night, Akpata boarded a night bus to the city, her heart racing with excitement and fear. In the bright neon lights, she met two men who admired her, drawn to the hypnotic sway of her hips. They offered money for company, and she quickly agreed, her mind whispering, "Instead of laying with that dirty Akpata, I can now whine with people who deserve a goodness like me." After the deed, she counted the cash in her hand, a wide smile spreading across her face. She rented a small apartment, started hustling, and soon became a popular figure in clubs, parties, and even the bustling roadside hustle culture. Money flowed, men admired her, women envied her. Nwanyi Akpata was free, or so she thought. But freedom has its price. One night, at a hotel with a wealthy client, as he caressed her, her hips suddenly began shrinking, the curves disappearing before the man's eyes. The client, terrified and shocked, ran away. It happened again and again. Every time she tried to use her beauty for money or pleasure, her hips reduced in size, terrifying potential admirers and spreading rumors about her. The gossip reached every corner of the city. At the market, while buying foodstuffs, her hips collapsed suddenly, causing people to laugh, scream, and take videos. Humiliation pierced her like a knife. Nwanyi Akpata, ashamed and desperate, realized the truth. The charm and Akpata's magic could not be escaped so easily. That night, with her dreams of city life shattered, She boarded a bus back to Umuozara. She returned to Okbanta and, to everyone's shock, became his wife. Villagers gossiped loudly. Why would she marry that dirty native doctor? Isn't he the one who made her backside so big? Could someone be so foolish? But Akpata's eyes held a quiet resignation. She had learned that power, beauty, and freedom can sometimes come at too high a cost. Nwanyi Akpata lived on with Okbanta, her curves still enviable, but her dreams of city freedom forever out of reach. The village continued to whisper her story for generations, a tale of beauty, ambition, and the dangerous bargains people make. Never make deals with the devil or those who wield dark magic, because they will always demand things to please themselves. Beauty and power can be blessings, but they come with responsibility and risk. Don't mock or body shame others because you might push them into doing something dangerous. True freedom comes from wisdom and patience, not shortcuts or magic. Sometimes what we desire most, fame, wealth, beauty, can lead us into traps we never imagined. The price of shortcuts is often higher than the effort of honest work. Thank you for watching. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more thrilling stories. Stay tuned for the next tale full of mystery, suspense, and unforgettable characters. We remain Delia Storytime on all platforms, the #1 storyteller in Africa. Bye for now.